Ding,
Ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding.
glad you got it.
Here we go. Hello, and welcome to Your Health Matters. This is Karl Sterling. I have Elizabeth Russo with me today. Thanks for joining me. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you for having me with you.
Good to see you again. It's been like almost, a week.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ben,
yep, it was a tough week.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate so much all you and Nikki did while I was gone, because you guys were really, really busy, huh?
Yes, we were.
Yep.
It's extremely busy.
Yeah. If anybody listened last Sunday, you'll know that I just returned from Dallas, actually. I was in Dallas, Texas. My sister's husband passed away, and the first quarter of that hour last week's show is a tribute to Tim. Monday was the funeral, and it was full military honors. I have never been so moved in my life.
Yeah.
And if Dallas allowed flyovers, he would have had a flyover too. He was such a great guy, and he left a beautiful, beautiful legacy. There are a lot of things that he did. His family, for one thing, his integrity, his consistency, and his fight, even through almost a decade of very, very ill health. Never complained a bit. Even when I was texting with him about a few days before he passed, maybe 10 days before, he had optimism.
Oh.
Like, yep, I'm going to get back to getting my prosthetic legs on. I'm going to be walking. And he was the consummate optimist, and it was his time to go. And so, again, thanks for covering for me. It was the hardest. It was a very hard few days, and being with my sister and all the children. There's 4 altogether, and their boyfriends or spouses or grandkids and all that. It was a real beautiful gathering, and a beautiful tribute to Tim every day. Really, it was like a tribute. A lot of great stories and memories. So, like when my mom passed last October, like when Emily passed 3.5 years ago, more than that now a little bit. And the older I get, it seems like I learn more. When somebody passes, I feel like I appreciate life even more. You ever have that happen?
Yes, several times.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm getting older and, more people are dying that I know. I mean, when I'm younger, I don't realize things, but my mother died when I was 27 or 26, excuse me. And my father died only 5 years ago. So yeah, with thinking about those things, I've had aunts and uncles pass.
Yeah. I had an aunt and, mom and dad and grandma, grandpa. I don't really have a big family, but still, the older we get, the more people we know who die.
Yeah.
And it's inevitable that's going to continue to occur. But I took a lot out of this, and it kind of brings me to today's subject, which will be in the last half an hour of the show, because we have other things to talk about the first half hour that will build up to the last half hour, which is what should the last decade going to look like. And we just talked about this a few weeks ago, but it bears repeating because there are always different angles to think of things from, or different lenses to look at life through. And so that's what we're here to do in our business at neuromotor training. Neuromotor training, almost said .com. That is a website, by the way. It goes to karlsterling.com. But at neuromotor training, our goal, we are more sincere than you can possibly imagine. What we really care about is that when you come in here, what you do with us goes out the door with you and benefits you outside in activities of daily living, because we want you to move better, live better, feel better, think more positively, have some hope. Because when that happens, it's a ripple effect. It goes through your family, your friends, your loved ones. It goes through society. The more people that feel better, the more people that feel better, if that makes sense. What I'd like to mention again, and we're going to be pumping this out here, talking about the next Neubie event, which is actually kind of an open house for the whole facility here of our particular clinic, not the whole building, just our place, neuromotor training, you get to see a lot of things. But out of 19 people that have tried the Neubie on one particular occasion, 18 are now using it on a regular basis.
Correct.
It's that powerful. So we're going to have another, this will be an event on Saturday, October 11th at 10 a.m. I'll double check that date. Yeah, that is a Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
Yep. A Saturday, October 11th at 10 a.m. All right. We even have nurse practitioners, medical people who want to get on this thing because, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound negative or put a negative spin on anything, because stem wave isn't working for them. Now, stem wave works for a lot of people, so I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. And if you like it and it works, keep doing it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, you got to try out the Neubie, because it's completely different. And it seems to be so far far superior than any other therapy to manage pain. But we're not just managing pain. So I'll give you a clear, let's say, benefit-focused outline you can use to think about. And I just read the wrong sentence. Mm-hmm. So here's an outline of things to think about. How do you like that for improvisation?
That's good.
Using notes, and I read the wrong line. Hey, I was a jazz drummer. That's what we do.
Right.
So this is an engaging therapy because people are immersed in, of course, I read that line wrong too. It's engaging because you're moving, not all the time, but you can be moving and do it. So when you're actually moving, Neubie is gonna help you, whether it's sit to stands, chest press, curls, leg extensions, lunges, squats, whatever. It's going to help you restore function after injury or surgery more quickly than conventional rehab will do alone.
We had one gentleman here yesterday that had it on him and did squats while he was doing it. And he felt better when he walked out of here. Felt like he had a new knee.
Yeah. Is that the one who's we were talking about earlier? Yeah. I haven't seen them in a long time. I'm so glad they came in. Yeah, because their minds are blown when they come in.
Yeah.
It can help you to improve strength and performance. It's going to activate more motor units of your muscles, making rehabilitation exercise more efficient and more effective. It's going to promote and develop better neuromuscular control because it trains the brain and the nervous system to remap correct movement patterns instead of working around them with pain blocking signals, right?
Right.
We don't want to just block pain because then you're not relearning anything. You're just blocking pain. You feel good for a few minutes or hours, and then you're back to square one with pain. We can help to enhance circulation and tissue healing, right? This is direct current, folks. That's the game changer, is that direct current is used to improve blood flow and nutrient delivery. Let's say the direct current used, this does this. So you're going to have improved blood flow, increased blood flow, better nutrient delivery from blood to organs and muscles, right? But the biggest thing I'd say we have is pain reduction.
Yes.
Through the roof. It's just the best thing in the world. We've never seen anything like it. I got frequency therapy, all kinds of therapies, the vibrating gun, and I'm really, we're really good at this stuff. But direct current overrides. It makes everything else look like a distant second.
I believe so. I actually used it on my arm. I woke up one day and it was really stiff.
Did that help?
Oh, it helped.
Yeah.
A couple days, the pain was totally gone.
Yeah, so, less fatigue, less soreness, because it's targets the nervous system. We're going to the root of the problem. We got to get to the root. And other things don't get to the root this way. They're not re-educating. And this is the thing I'm going to say before we go to break. What we need to realize is that Neubie re-educates nerves and muscles, because without nerves, your muscles are stupid and they don't do anything. Muscles have no intelligence. Fascia does, but, it has to have the nerves going into it. That's the outer layer of muscle, right? So when you're talking about muscle memory, you're really talking about fascia memory. The muscle belly itself, no, it has no intelligence. It doesn't do anything on its own. It needs nerves. And so we're getting to the nerve, we're getting to the root, and we're helping to re-educate how to move. And so we actually got to go to break already. This is News Radio 570 WSYR. Your Health Matters. We'll be right back. We are back. So just a little bit more about Neubie, because you've been hearing about it a lot for the past few weeks, and you're going to continue to hear about it because we're going to have more stories. Do you have any stories from when I was gone? We have one particular gentleman post-stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said something about him while I was gone.
He was doing, because you've had him sit to stands. Now he wants to do sit to stands so he could test out his range of motion and how well he does. He actually does really well after he has it on as he's doing them, and he gets up and down pretty good.
That's just on the quads and on the hamstrings, right?
Correct.
Yep. And then we fire it up. We go into a pulse mode of
Correct.
like electric, direct current is delivered for a certain number of seconds, and then it stops. And by that time, he has stood up, and then it stops, so he sits down doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's on a little bit, but he's getting better at letting go, trusting it a little more.
Yeah.
I noticed even his brother-in-law said something, because he comes with him. He's like, "Oh, look at you. Don't have to have the chair studied anymore for you," or,
It's re-education.
Yeah.
It's re-educating things. It's not just building strength. It's re-educating. So it's so powerful, and I'm just going to keep talking about it every week to some degree, because, direct current versus alternating current, there's a big difference. So Neubie is using direct. Most devices like a TENS unit use alternating current, which mainly blocks pain signals temporarily. Whereas Neubie uses a patented pulsed direct current, or sometimes we don't do pulse. We're in recovery mode or autonomic nervous system reset mode. It's not a pulse, it's just direct current. And this is going to stimulate a deeper neuromuscular adaptation. We need to have our neuromuscular system adapt to what it is we're trying to learn how to do over again, or to re-educate how to do. Adaptation is key. So I think that's probably enough about it, but that is on October 11th, 10 a.m., NeuroMotor training. You can go to karlsterling.com. That's Karl with a K. Sign up on the landing page. Actually, I've had quite a few people already sign up. So get to it, because we got some other news to announce here, which we'll do right after the bottom of the hour. All right, so we also have the Neuro Rehab VR. Now, we just actually officially had our onboarding session this week, and we had probably done about 80% of the stuff in there, figured it out on our own, just intuitively. But, whoa, that Haven one.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I was the administrator along with Drew in Sacramento, who was on Google Meets with us and helping us go through everything. You can see everything you're doing and what we're doing. So he helped me so I could help you. You were the patient.
Yes.
Did you want to tell anything about that experience on any of the games?
It's amazing how you get immersed into it and you forget where you are. Like, you can't even tell that you're on a game. Like, I was in a kitchen, I was in a living room, I was in a shopping store, I was in the Haven one. You're in the mountain, or like a valley of the mountains, I should say, with, running water. And I mean, it doesn't look exactly like, but you're there. Like, it's weird. And when you take the headset off, it takes a few seconds to readjust where you are. But I really enjoyed it. It was relaxing, actually,
So, yeah, right after the live broadcast of the show last Sunday, I did from my sister's house. I had right over to near Fort Worth. I think it was Arlington. Actually had lunch with the CEO.
That's cool.
And the CTO, Chief Tech Officer of Neuro Rehab Virtual Reality. Really, just great people. She started this. She was telling me when I asked her, how did you come up with this? She says, well, I was doing my PhD, and then this just came out of it, and then it turned into a thing. Well, what's really cool is they're in a lot of hospitals and rehab centers now. I think what's interesting, the rehab centers care more than the hospitals do about using it, which probably makes sense. But once people understand the benefits that can be realized, for example, it's a highly engaging therapy. You're immersed into interactive situations, games, and tasks. And this will help you with your adherence and motivation compared to standard exercises. I mean, we gamify a lot. The majority of what we do here, we gamify because, well, it keeps people engaged. It's more fun. You're thinking less about the physical effort and you're having fun doing it. And you're actually benefiting even more because you're using your brain and your body. And then, that famous word, neuroplasticity, the brain's amazing way of, changing itself. In fact, there's a book on the shelf, The Brain's Way of Changing Itself, written by Norman Deutsch, MD, out of Toronto. And he wrote a sequel called The Brain's Way of Healing Itself. Well, the neuroplasticity is, if you're learning anything right now, listening to me, your brain is changing because you're learning. That's what happens. New neural firing patterns are happening. So when you're in a VR situation or any kind of learning or different environmental situation, a new area, a new stimuli, whatever, the VR environments, for example, they stimulate multiple senses and cognitive pathways, encouraging the brain to form new connections, especially after injury. All right, but it doesn't have to be after injury. It could be after stroke, after brain surgery. Maybe you just haven't been doing much, and maybe you have some dementia, some Alzheimer's, some cognitive decline, some cognitive difficulties or challenges. Guess what? This is for you. We get real-time feedback too, like you will too. We get customizable programs. It's a safe environment. It's controlled. And we have very, HIPAA compliant files for every person, but objective data tracking with built-in sensors that collect performance metrics. And this helps us to monitor your progress over time, or not progress if you don't make progress, but people do so far. The other thing too is, just on another note, is I was talking with Vina at lunch. So, we have a couple people. I know you're gonna know who I'm talking. One lady who comes in with Parkinson's Monday and Friday at noon. She usually finishes with this a lot of times. When she sits and does this, she moves way more range of motion.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes. And more confidently, without even realizing she's more confident.
Exactly. And so do other people, especially our Tuesday morning couple. The man, Santa Claus, because he's got a Santa Claus beard. I don't want to say names because it's HIPAA. But anyways, I've never seen him reach so high ever in 12 years I've been working with him.
Oh, wow.
12 years Parkinson's been working with him. So what's really interesting is when you put on a virtual reality, this particular unit especially, your brain and your vestibular system is forced to adjust to a different world because you're no longer seeing your natural surroundings. You're not seeing anything around you as long as you're in the play boundaries, right? You're not seeing the workout equipment we have. You're not seeing any people. You're only seeing what's there. And your brain goes into a completely different mode. Even though you can hear us and you can hear activities around you, visually, you're looking into another world. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is.
3D world. Yeah. And so therefore, your brain is not going to restrict you in the same way it would if you were in your own environment. You know why most people they can't bend over and touch their toes?
Why?
Because their brain says it's not safe to do so. It's not because the hamstrings are tight. Because if you go under general anesthesia and they do a hip replacement, like both of my hips.
Yes.
They can bend you into a Gumby because your brain is not aware of what they're doing and it doesn't protect you. So now you're more flexible than ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So think about this. If we were to have augmented reality, which would be, we got to go to break 30 seconds. We'll talk about that when we get back. This is Your Health Matters. We have a special announcement to make when we come back. I hope you'll stay because for us, it's a very, very big announcement and it's very important to us. And Hope you stay around. So we're going to the bottom of the hour news break. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, also on 106.9 FM. I'm with Elizabeth Brusa. My name's Karl Sturring. This is Your Health Matters. We'll be right back. Okay, here we are at after the bottom of the hour here. A little bit more about this neuro rehab thing, and then we're going to kind of tell you what's going on with us. Okay, so bottom line is you're putting your brain in a different situation with this headset, and you are going to expand your brain and nervous system and your body's ability to do so many things. That's why it's called neuro rehab VR for virtual reality, because it is a neuro rehab device. So you can try that out on October 11th as well when we have our event here, 10 a.m. It's not like an open house where you drop in when you want. You show up, you got to be here at 10 if you want to know about everything. Don't just show up. This is an event. You need to sign up. We have limited spaces available. We had a full house last time we did this. And so, we can set up an appointment with you to have you come in and check things out if it gets too full. But right now we're not filled up. But get signed up. It's going to be a lot easier to come to that for you than it is to set an appointment with us, because we have hardly any time left anymore. Only time for clients and patients. So we have something to share with you, and it's been something that's been on my mind for at least 6 months. After tremendous amount of agony and thought and consideration, we are going to end the show. Our show here, Your Health Matters, will be ending, and I haven't heard a confirmation from WSYR yet, but our target is to have our last broadcast on October 26th. For multiple reasons, I've decided I need to move on. I don't want to go into them now, although I will be going into them in the next 4 weeks. One thing I can very much guarantee is that in a respectful way, the next 4 shows are going to be a doozy. I'm not holding back. There's a lot of stuff that's on my mind, and I'm not an angry kind of guy, and I won't get political about stuff, but I am angry about a lot of things going on right now. And it will come across lightly, not in a scolding way, not in a bad way. It's going to come across, I promise you, in a thought-provoking way. And we start next Sunday with 4 weeks in a row, because we have 4 more shows left. Unless, for some reason, I have to stay longer. But we're trying to be out by then. And you won't want to miss it, because you just won't want to. So, I'm bittersweet about this.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I know you enjoy doing the radio, but I know it's been difficult for you to do the radio, us to do the radio.
And you've added so much to this show. I can't even begin to thank you.
I don't think so, but thank you.
No, people love you. Everybody loves you. It's, it is a bittersweet thing. I do want to say this. First of all, Dr. Berry started this, almost 10 years ago. He had it for 8 years. I took it over because I asked to take it over, because I've always wanted a platform to speak from where I could reach more people and educate. In the past, I don't know, 80 something, whatever episodes we've done, we've had some really, really world-class guests, experts, researchers, authors. And I have worked so hard to bring these people on. They're so hard to get, some of them. But quite frankly, when I started thinking about not doing the show anymore, it was right after I had Robert Lustig on in early February, because once I had him on, that was my favorite interview.
Yeah.
It was like walking on the moon. I can't beat that one.
I know.
I have other people who will join me who are very big names, and it just doesn't matter to me anymore. Part of the reason is because I honestly think, and I'm sorry, because I don't want anyone to be insulted, I actually think that people just don't care.
Yeah.
I really think I get wonderful feedback on the show. The ratings are very high. I really don't think people actually care. If you knew a fraction of the work I put into this to get people on. It's too much for me. I mean, fortunately with the, thank God we have some of the coolest, best equipment in the world to help people feel better, move better. Well, that trumps everything. That has to be our priority, and I can't do the radio. There's no more time.
No, you are overwhelmed.
Well, you are too. You and Nikki, we're all working like we've never worked this hard before. We love what we do, but it does come with a lot of responsibility and a lot of stress. And I think because I know for me personally, I see immediate feedback. When I put somebody on a Neubie, I put them on a VR, I put them on the reacting treadmill, we put them on the hour plate, we put them on a biodensity. It's a more, either it's instant feedback and benefits or it's quick. Radio is radio. It's not like I'm expecting anybody ever to say, hey, I really like the show. You're great. No, it's not about, this ain't about me. This is about we. I'm grateful to have had the platform, but I think at this point, it is time to move on.
Yes.
So
I agree. I think Dr. Barry, after 8 years, said the same thing.
well, I can actually tell you what he said. I texted him one day, a couple months ago. I said, Doctor, do you want the show back? He says, well, I won't say exactly what he said. He says, blank, no. So
Same.
I said, well, people don't listen. I mean, they may listen, but they don't actually act, a lot of them, on what we say. And they just keep living the same way. I know this because I see this in people who say, I like the show, and nothing's changed in their lives.
Right.
I'm sure there are people who actually take us up on some suggestions, or not even me. I'm just a guy, right? Our experts teach things, and they're the most researched, most well-versed, and they're the smartest people in the world, and they're not listening to them either.
Right.
And he just said, well, they didn't listen to Jesus either. So what do you want?
That's true. God bless them.
I mean, thank you, Dr. Barry. So he won't be doing the show. I'll double check though. And I want to get him on before, I have a plan for that before we're done. I want to extend a special thank you to Hunter Hillers, because Hunter, as I copied you in that email I sent her, I have OCD tendencies, and I can be a real pain in the rear end with details that I'm sure probably drive her crazy, but she always says, don't worry. Thank you, Hunter. If I ever did drive you crazy, I apologize. But when we go out to breakfast next time, I'm buying. Okay. And, Tias and everybody, Kyla, Dave Swanson, Kyla, we've had the best people. The station's been great to us. So that's what's going on. October 26th. That's it. And then you'll be able to hear us though at, you just go to my website, karlstarring.com, go to the podcast link. Everything I've ever done is on there anyways, including approximately 230, maybe 250 recordings, interviews prior to doing this show. So when you add all the radio stuff onto it, it's like 3 1/4 or something. It's hundreds. And we'll continue to interview people. It just won't be as often because right now we don't have time. But you can keep updated on everything there. karlstarring.com, Karl with a K. Now, on October 11th, is it?
11th.
If I said the 10th before, sorry, I know it's the 11th. Saturday the 11th at 10 a.m., sign up. When you get to the landing page at karlstarring.com, Karl with a K, you can't not see the sign-up place. It's right in front of you. You can't possibly miss it. Fill in your name, your email, hit submit, done, you're in. You'll get a response within a few hours saying you are registered with very specific instructions, directions, etc. And when we come back, I would like to talk about why your last decade matters. Okay, we're finally get into that. But leading up to it, I want you to know your brain and your body and your nervous systems work together. You got to keep all those things working really, really well. And that's what we do here. We have equipment nobody else has in the Northeast United States The closest Neubie, the closest VR of this type is New York City. I mean, I could go on and on. We got to go to break. One more segment coming up. This is News Radio 570 WSYR. We'll be back. Anything special? So why does your last decade matter? Oh, boy, it's a big one. I always hope I'm not in my last decade at any given moment because I got a lot of living to do. I'm 64. I think I'm only half dead. I really want to live a long time, but I want to live well, not in agony. There are circumstances which are out of control for some of us. We could be walking down the road and the piano falls on us. It has happened. I told you the story.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Walked by and went around the corner and a piano fell off a crane, killed somebody. I mean, I didn't see that. I was already 2 blocks away, but it happened. Whoever thought that could happen? Whoever thought they would die from a piano crushing them? But you never know.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
car accidents.
Yeah, car accidents.
Something weird.
Just
trip and fall and end up in the hospital and whatever.
Exactly. Hit your head a certain way.
Yeah.
And maybe be a vegetable forever because, you're never going to be conscious. Who knows, right? But other than that, I argue we have a lot of control over what our last decade looks like. But it starts with now. It doesn't matter where you're at. It starts right here, right now, today. So a lot of people kind of avoid this subject. And it might sound uncomfortable, but it can be very empowering. Choices you make today can decide whether your last decade is marked by independence, vitality, and connection. We're talking about social stuff there. Or by struggle, decline, and regret. So, interesting fact here. Life expectancy is increasing, but health span, the years we live in good health, is not keeping up.
Well, that's an interesting fact.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't happen by accident. I mean, it starts decades earlier that we have a healthy last decade. Picture yourself at 80, 85, 90 or more. I'm picturing myself 100, 105, 110. What do you want your days to look like? Those seeds are planted today and every day, all day. So I ask you to ask yourself, what's one small thing, one small daily decision you're making now that your 85-year-old self will thank you for? Or maybe the things you're doing now that it won't thank you for. I don't know.
Or maybe you're 85 already and you just want to get moving again.
Yeah. And we have people do it.
Right.
And my friend Don in Nashville with the small affiliate location we have down there, we have a bunch of ladies in their 70s. It just happens to be all females in this 3 times a week group thing they do. They've been doing it for over a year. The retention rate's 100%. They're all staying in it.
That's awesome.
All of them in their 70s. All of them moving way better than a year ago.
That's great.
Yeah, so, I mean, they started in their 70s. Right, so the first pillar of a vibrant last decade, you got to maintain your body's strength, your balance, and your resilience. Okay, this is one of the things that I don't understand why people look at me like I have 3 heads. Do you know that muscle mass is paramount to maintain good health, good movement, and to live long? Now, we have people who come in who have very little muscle mass. I'm not judging anybody, that we love them, and they didn't know this, so it's not their fault. Little tiny bony shoulders, little chicken legs. I mean, and we're trying to help them because when they get stronger, they move better. They balance better. They're more likely to stay upright instead of falling. We have to have muscle mass. Muscle is the largest organ in your body. Yes, muscle is an organ. Why? Because metabolism happens in muscles. You burn your calories mostly in muscles. Okay, so if you have less muscle mass, you're burning less calories. Your resting metabolic rate lowers. This is going to happen over time anyways, but we've had countless people on the show, countless experts, best-selling authors, muscle mass is king. It is the foundation of longevity. Now you can go into all the studies, like, amount of muscle. You read one about calves or thighs?
Calves.
Calves.
Calves. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so right now I just was hearing yesterday on the plane on the way back, something about, the new trend. Oh yeah, it was Andrew Huberman. The new episode with, Brett Contreras, who I've only met once at a conference. He's a really cool guy. Really big following. And Brett talks about the, quads and calves are the thing now. Everybody wants strong quads and calves who he works with. Now, they're usually a lot younger than the people we work with, but it starts then, right? Because there's correlation there with leg muscle and longevity, grip strength and longevity, total muscle mass and longevity. Go on and on and on.
Yep.
Sarcopenia, in simple terms, is, well, it's age-related muscle loss. Okay, it's gonna happen. We have a thing called the biodensity here. That's going to help you to build muscle mass, especially the type of muscle fibers that help to keep you upright and improve your balance. You need this. Not only does it do that, of course, it's meant for building bone density, and it works. By the way, the price is going up on that soon, so you better get in here. And everything on the October 11th, everything, 15% off. But the prices are going to go up because everything's going up. Tariffs aren't making it any easier. Sorry for any Trump supporters, but tariffs have not helped me with some of the consumables that I need to buy for here because they come from overseas. So your prices go up. You eat it because I'm not eating it. I have a lot to say about that, and that comes in the next 4 weeks. Micro action. If you can, maybe practice standing up from a chair without using your hands once a day. How about 5 times a day? How about 3 times a day? How about 10 times, 3 sets of 10 per day? Doesn't have to be back to back. Or 5 sets of 10. I mean, we need to do these things. So when we picture our last decade, we'll be able to travel, play with the grandchildren, pick them up, garden. What's one movement habit you can do right now and start today? Plus, we have protecting our mental vitality. The brain is the seat of our memories, our personality, our joy. In your last decade, cognitive decline can be the greatest threat to independence. The good news is there's so much we can do here to help you, and there's so much you can do on your own to help you. And with that, I just want to say I have a little story for you, Sad. When I was in Texas, my nephew, who's just one of the coolest people in the whole wide world, TJ, of course, I've known him all his life, and one of his friends, Connor, was there, and well, anyways, I shouldn't be saying names. I'm not going to say any more names. Parents of one of TJ's friends were there. I asked the father when he came outside, so where'd you come in from? How far do you live? Oh, man, it's a long drive. So really, I don't know, maybe 4 hours? Wow. Well, that's really nice of you to come, because, this is a tribute to Tim, and come to find out they live 4 houses down the road.
Wow.
Yeah. Since 1979.
Wow.
So guess what, folks? He has dementia really bad.
Wow.
And that's really, really sad.
That is sad.
And my heart just went right out to him, and anyways. Less than a minute to go, so October 26th is our target end date. We'll confirm that next week after I hear back from the radio station. We certainly do enjoy doing this, but it's time to move on. And of course, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. That's where you can go to sign up for the workshop event, I should say. The event, 10 a.m. October 11th was a Saturday. That's where you can continue to go to the podcast link to find new interviews over time for years and years and years and years to come. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
Always great to do this with you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Hunter, again, WSYR. This is News Radio, WSYR 570. Also on 106.9. Your health matters. Keep moving, keep thinking every single day. Have a great week.